Usamos estampillas postables.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
Violent people.
Radio.
Welcome to Violent People Radio number 65. I'm Dan Rice. I'm joined by Sam. How's it going, Sam?
Hello. I'm doing fine, Dan. Thanks for asking.
We also have Chris here. How's it going, Chris?
I'm straight up chilling.
Oof.
Ooh.
And Pat is here as well. He had the day off work, so he has a lot of energy.
Yeah, no, that's
fucked up.
Accurate. It's complete and accurate, is what I always say.
You do always say that. I volunteered to start talking mostly so I could say the thing people love most about this podcast is the fantasy football league that only 75% of us are in. So I want to point out that in second place currently, my co-host Chris. Good job, Chris. In first place, me. And then Pat's not in the league because he's a coward. But then I had to scroll down here pretty far. What do you in? 10th place is Sam. What's going on there, Sam?
So there's a few missteps in week one. I think we're gonna right the ship in week two, and then we're gonna move on. Okay. So
you were pretty xenophobic and hateful towards Pork, who won his matchup and scored more points than you. How do you feel about that?
I don't actually know the answer to this. Can you be xenophobic to Irish? Is that how that works?
I just say things. I don't ever know what I'm talking about. Okay.
I think that it has different connotations, but I could be wrong. I'm not up to snuff, as the kids say.
Well, I don't know what you were to him, but I didn't like it. How about that?
Yeah. I definitely was anti-Irish at the very least. I don't know what we can call that. Anti-Irish for sure. I claimed he did not know the rules of football, hence why he was making trades that only a blathering idiot might do. I'd probably stand by that. I feel like he could have done better. But that's not my decision, ultimately, at the end of the day. And ultimately, he came to you because he was like, I want to be taken advantage of. Because no one in this league has ever traded with you and come out better for it, I would say.
That's... You're just okay with just throwing on slander like nothing. That's cool.
You're the
What's that?
You're the Howie of the league.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm just trying to make my team better. That's all I can do.
Anyone that comes to you, I have no words for. Derogatory.
I'm never going to hit accept on a trade that I feel like makes my team worse, so I don't know what more I could do.
Yeah, but I feel like not everyone should be able to look at that trade and be like, oh, that makes the other team worse. Every founding. I think going to you, bad. Listening to a trade from you, twice as bad.
So you don't want me to send any offers your way after the show?
You can send any offer you want. I will spit on it.
I will also let you know if anyone sends me an offer, I will never ever hit decline, because if one of my players in the trade gets an injury, I will instantly hit accept. I'm a bad person all around. Welcome to the league. I love you all.
Well, you know what this is. Good fantasy football drafters, better people.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, you're second place. You're pretty quiet over there. You don't have time for football because you watch so much wrestling?
I'm trying to come up with like the least consequential trade that we could do right now.
Oh, I love that. I love that,
But
and it's
I'll
good.
get
It's good
back to you.
audio too.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, in that case, you don't tell me about wrestling. Sam, you tell me about wrestling. Chris is busy.
First, I gotta say, I had one open spot on my roster because I dropped. Oh, because I moved Spears to my IR, and I was like, there was no running backs to take. Let me be a homer and take Quint Allen from the Jacksonville Jaguars because he played for Syracuse University. And lo and behold, he is now RB2 on that team. Godspeed, my friend. Anyway, wrestling. Like, not a ton, if I'm being honest with you. When was the last time I recorded this? Okay, so watched some shit. Watched AIW offer match from GCW in March. Sam Holloway versus Isaiah Broner. Dan would probably like it.
Hell yeah.
Not derogatory. I liked it, but no one else on the show would be like, that's something I'm interested in learning more about.
Well, I'm interested in learning about where it fits into your GME rankings.
Oh, 2075.
Okay.
Off the rip, that's where I'm going.
How do you feel
now-
about Broner? Because I know that was one of your issues was gauging 2025 Broner.
Broner needs a new set of lungs. That's where I'm at after this one. I watched this match, and last week I watched the Shug D match from ASE. Man's gassing hard. Like, that was never a strong suit, but kind of was just hoping maybe the conditioning would come. Just a big dude carrying around a lot of mass. What are you gonna do? Hideki Suzuki and Sakuraba versus Dan Tamura and Kuro Saito from Takayama Mania.
Watch that too.
Fucking rules.
Yeah.
I understand nothing because Cora was like, yeah, people are talking shit about this match. And I'm like, I see nothing about anything Japanese wrestling, quite frankly, which means I've done a good job of curating what I see. But also, specifically this match, I have not seen anything about. So, you're a
That's
fan?
crazy. I walked away thinking, well, I guess all four of these guys are on the VP 100.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's crazy that people don't like it. The finish was fucking awesome. I never would have thought. I think my favorite combo was probably Suzuki and Tamura, which I never would have walked in expecting that.
Well, I hope it would be your favorite because that's pretty much the whole match.
Well, yeah, but I thought it would be most of the match, but I would like some of the other sprinklings better, but I didn't. They were great.
Oh yeah, they're like, let me bash our heads into each other and see how that goes. Just lots of great stuff. And Sakuraba hits a plancha to the floor. What could you not like about this match, quite frankly?
Now there's a Suzuki Sato versus Tamura Ashino match from February that I haven't watched yet. That made me like want to seek out.
This match almost had me dialing up Champions Carnival. So,
Oh shit, that would have been a mistake for sure.
Have you watched any of it, Dan?
No, I'm just so sure.
I'm gonna do it. Like, that will be next week. We're gonna come on here and I'll be like, I back on not liking 2025 wrestling. I am not saying my VP 100. It's done. Watched a couple of GCW matches from the homecoming weekend shows. I'm just not going to talk about them. Watched Manders versus Shire from JCW in August. Real good. Manders is one of the dumbest wrestlers alive. Gotta love him. He's a dumb wrestler who thinks he's smart, but does hit hard. And that does a lot for me. Watched Matt Tremont versus Gary J from that same show. Gary J, coward, unfortunately. Even if I like the match, very clearly unwilling to do the nasty shit. And Matt Tremont is literally in the first 7 seconds, throwing just one headbutt, and his head is immediately gushing. That man's a legend. Yeah, we're talking about the VP 100, and people are like, I'm really high on Matt Tremont this year. And I'm like, I like the matches I watch, but I also look through his cage match and be like, I will never touch this 25-minute Bear Bronson match. You
You
can't
should,
convince
because
me.
if nothing else, watch the clip of Tremont doing a superfly splash off of the scissor lift.
Sure. That'll be what I get out of that match. I will not commit to 25 fucking minutes of that. Then he's got like 20-minute GCW tag matches. And I'm like, Tremont, what are we doing here? Let's get to 10 to 12, 10 to 15. Keep it slim.
It sounds like what you're looking for is Slade.
I
I don't know.
Slade's just in
I don't
and
know about
out with
that.
these things. 10 minutes. He bleeds more than Tremont at this point.
That's real. I decided to dip into Action Pro Wrestling. Watched Joe Black versus Alex Kane, or attempted to, and then bailed the fuck out because Joe Black is the Georgia Wrestling Kane, is what I'm going to go with. Highly respected, not very good. Watch
How are his
Manders.
politics?
What?
What is
Same
politics
politics.
like? Okay, awesome.
I think they gotta be the same, right? Gotta be the same.
What about mayoral ambitions?
Deputy mayor. Who's the booker of AEWE? No one fucking is reminiscent of Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. So I'm gonna not get into that. Watch Manders versus Darian Bankston from Action from April. These two dudes just don't know their limitations, but enough good stuff there. Bosby versus Adam Priest from June. It's fine. It's my first Tim Bosby match. He's all right.
Where does he rank on the VP 100?
225.
All right, pretty good.
I've seen
You're
226
doing a
wrestlers this year.
225-man ballot?
We're just guessing here. We're just throwing out some numbers for the people.
I was going to say, Chris, you got to rein this guy in. He's trying to vote for 200 people.
I'm just gonna
yeah.
start going to the spreadsheet and be like, hey, just gotta readjust some things.
I don't count Sam's ballot anyway.
Oh,
How don't I know it? Last match I watched, Darian Bankston versus Eric Royal. Really freaking good. Definitely highly recommend people check that out. Eric Royal, gotten bigger. Also, this appears to be the only match he's wrestled this year according to Cage Match.
Yeah, I have not heard his name in a very long time.
I don't know what he's doing. Working a warehouse gig? Who knows? Currently, gonna make my VP 100. So, let's do it. That's all I watched.
So I know that Eric Royal is at least like 115 wrestlers better than Tim Bosby.
100%.
Okay. All right, Chris, did you round up any lucha or at least watch them?
Come on.
Yeah, I did. Hoping to watch more, but I was at the damn DMV for a few hours today. You know how that's like.
Oof. Were you really there for a few hours?
It was like an hour.
Oh, okay.
But I mean the process of doing the errand was like 2 hours.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It's fine. I am going to be getting my real ID soon so I can fly.
Hell yeah, I just did that a few months ago.
Same.
But yeah, I watched a handful of IWRG shows, everyone's favorite promotion.
Hell yeah.
Highlights include Caballero de Plata versus Cerebro Negro Jr. for the welterweight title. Nothing like outstandingly great. Probably like 5 minutes too long, but solid enough work. I like them as a matchup. Same show, also a little bit too long, was Arez and Toxin versus Hellboy and Io de Alabrije. And a really fun trios match with Achilles, Io de Dos Caras, and Relampago versus Io de Silver King, Multifacetico, and Ray Halson. Who a lot of those workers in that match, they do not have a lot of like truly great matches together, but they have like in the months of Lucha I've round up, they're just like consistently, yeah, that's a pretty fun trios match. And I love a pretty fun trios match. Also on that card, a couple other tags that did not move me. Standard like trainee opener. A match I was kind of bummed I wasn't that into because it's got like Iron Kid and Ovet and Superboy. A singles match with Aguila Roja versus Soul. That was like pretty solid, but just like kind of came and went. And then there is the March 13th show, which is the final tryout tournament. And you don't need to watch that. Not even for the trios title between Las Shotas and the aforementioned wrestlers Aguila Roja, Multifacetico, and Ray Halson, who are usually in very fun trios. And there's fun moments in this, but those three wrestlers have much better trios matches in IWRG. And then I watched a show I had a lot of fun watching, which is the IWRG Lucha Libre Boom show from the 16th of March. I've really enjoyed the opener for this one. Angel Kid, Leon Rojo, and Titanium versus Guerrero, Jaguar, Rabbit, and Tormento. Who I have seen like a few matches from some of these guys, and like Leon Rojo and Guerrero Jaguar, and have enjoyed them. They just like really go balls out, and it's a ton of fun. The next several matches, pretty forgettable, but there's a like big brawl of a match between Flystar, Lunatic Fly, and Paranoico versus Lunatic Extreme, Ovet Jr., and Sagittarius, who unfortunately Sagittarius is taking the spot of the advertised Sadika.
Oh,
So this
Yeah,
match could have been
she keeps getting announced for stuff and then just not being there.
which if Sadika is in that match instead of Sagittarius, who is perfectly like fine in the match, but Sadika being there like takes it to match of the year, probably. Like just lots of great hardcore stuff, and both Lunatics Extreme and Fly are having stellar years. Fly Star consistent as hell. Huila Roja and Iode Alabrije versus Achilles and Hellboy. Also a fun tag. Lots of good brawling there. And it's not on the full IWRG. Like if you go on their YouTube and watch the full show, the main event is not there. You'll have to find a link on Estrella's Del Ring or something, like I did. But it's you're always fun, not quite great match of a bunch of CMLL guys having a pretty decent match in Arena Nakalpan. It's Averno, Euphoria, and Magnus versus Mascara Dorada, Mystico, and Neon. And I mean, it's like I said, it's like a perfectly fine CMLL trios match that is elevated by Nakalpan getting one of their 1 to 3 Mystico appearances of the year, because they always go fucking crazy for Mystico, like every arena does. And so it's just always fun seeing Mystico in a different arena where they love him just as much, if not more, because they don't get this every week at IWRG. Usually the trios in the main event is like Las Shotas. So
As God intended.
As God intended. And I wouldn't want it any other way. You can't have like too many like wrestlers who can work for a major promotion taking up these slots on the card. Like you can't have it too often. Otherwise, it's not IWRG. It's something else, and it's sickening to think about. But for one night, it was very fun.
It really is, though. Every Mystico performance outside of CMLL in Mexico is just so fucking fun because the crowd goes insane. Like it's every single one of them.
It's like God just walked in the building. And also, the past 24 hours, I saw a Nazi get just absolutely bloodied up. And of course, I am talking about Schlack in the Tournament of Death.
Oh my god.
You were talking about IWRG. I thought you were going to be talking about Vangelis.
Oh my gosh. Before you talk about Tournament of Death, because I know that I watched some, and I think Pat watched all of it.
No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched
okay.
some.
Well, we've been talking about the VP 100 so much, so I wanted to like put you on the spot, gun to your head. What indie lucha do you put the highest? Indie luchador do you put the highest?
I mean, I didn't watch any of his matches this week, but it's going to be like a Fishman or a Demus. I can't really see.
Cerebro Negro can't overtake him. Cerebro
Negro is chasing. Arez is out of the running now because he is making his AEW debut imminently. Because he will be high up there. Obviously, Noisy Boy is going to have a lot of those like really fun trios matches that get up there. Of the people I talked about, I think one of the Lunatics is going to be the highest on my list.
Okay. All right. Tournament of Death.
Tournament of Death. So, how much of the show did you watch, Dan?
I watched all of the first round. Yeah, I stopped at the end of the first round.
All right, and Pat, how much did you watch?
Just the first 2 or 3 matches. I was really pressed for time the past couple days.
All right. So everyone here except Sam watched Akira versus Hoodfoot.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
What losers? Come on. Do
Well,
better
no,
with our time, folks.
I thought it was pretty cool for him to have the worst match in King of the Kill and then immediately go on to have the worst match of Tournament of Death. I think that's kind of cool.
It's really
Yeah,
doing things on a totally different level.
Like head and shoulders the worst match on this card. And also because the show as a whole is very fun.
I watched
People
a
are
lot
saying-
of like clips. I didn't I didn't get precious about like I can't spoil the show. I was watching like all the fucking like tripping balls videos and stuff that he was posting.
People are
So-
saying non-ironically CZW is back.
Yeah, it's like actually crazy because I saw like the gifs when the show happened of like tripping balls and like Marilyn, and it was just like, damn, this looks really fun. And then it wasn't just like people who post clips of death matches talking about it. Like most of these matches are match guide eligible and they have positive reviews. Except Akira versus Hoodfoot.
Yeah.
My favorite Twitter thing was the IWTV account was just like reposting anything with the Tournament of Death hashtag. And so they IWTV reposted the picture of DJ Hyde walking to the ring with the trophy and someone saying like, what the fuck happened to DJ Hyde? He's fucking huge. Hashtag Tournament of Death 22.
They reposted it, yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, oh man.
Well, I will say the first 2 matches are the aforementioned Akira versus Hoodfoot and then Judge Joe Dredd versus Nick Gage. And I actually I jumped in at the 3rd match and finished the first round and then gave up for a while. So I had to go back to watch those first 2 matches, and they're the worst 2 matches in the first round. So I remember thinking I was like really high on it, and then I went back and watched those 2, and I was like, I can't get to the semifinals right now. It took all the wind out of me.
Yeah, you should have just gone.
I should have just pretended that I watched it all and just jumped right to the semis, but I was like, you know what? Let me go back and watch these 2 matches. But yeah, I really don't have much to say about
I'll say
Judge Joe versus Nick.
I'll say Nick Gage looked better than some of the times I've seen him. That's not praise.
He looked like a bad wrestler. I didn't think he was gonna die.
Yeah,
so that's something.
Improvement. That's improvement here.
He looks like what happens when like someone becomes president and the job just ages them. Like it looks like in the past year he's aged 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. But of the first round matches, I thought Drake versus Alexandrov was the highlight. It's the best of the first round.
Definitely.
Probably best of the show. Drake having a hell of a year.
People are saying it.
Well, Chris, I'm curious as to your thoughts on the big tarp match. Because I looked at all the names in that match, and that's all the like backyard freaks who do murder basement shows for XBW. So I was excited because I'm like, at last, people are gonna see some of these fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a moment. I'll just give quick notes. Schlack versus Tim Strange, I had way too much fun with. I have never seen Tim Strange before, I don't think.
Favorite stands.
He's just a big guy. He's a big piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
who you want to see in a match with Schlack.
I feel like England has been, the UK has been producing a lot of just like big fat deathmatch guys lately.
Yeah,
Well, and we talked about it with King of the Kill and Eric Dillinger. I don't want to spoil anything, but Schlack wrestles like a guy who's excited to wrestle. Like he comes out on fire. Like he's getting far in this tournament.
Yeah, and
I don't always think that about Schlack.
Eric Ryan versus JJ Allen. It's a little bit of hit playing because you know that they're going to do like fire and car stunts. But I mean, it's fire and car stunts. Like you might have seen this before, but you have a hell of a time watching it.
No, those parts rule. Eric Ryan kisses Necro in the crowd.
Beautiful
Which is all good stuff. Yeah. You skipped Mickey Knuckles versus Ricky Shane Page.
Oh, did I?
Did you have any thoughts on
Weird.
that one? Because I loved when she pulled a piece of glass out of his hand with her mouth. This Mickey looked better than she has in a while. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that match, Mickey looked good.
Ricky was in there too.
Ricky was in there, so there was a body for Mickey to wrestle.
And it's really funny because Ricky's like his whole thing right now is like he's gonna make CZW great again. He's gonna put his head down, work hard, and bring it back to the spotlight. He's been doing a lot of promos about that. I'm still waiting.
But yeah, like second round, like most deathmatch second rounds, everyone is just giving like half effort because they already had one match, and one person in each match is going to have another match. So, like, nothing particularly special there. But then we have the Tarp of Death. Now, if you did not see the show, if you did not see clips on Twitter, the Tarp of Death is a big tarp with a bunch of light tubes just kind of strewn around, some chairs, some tables, other weapons, crutches, cinder blocks, whatever they had left that wasn't broken, that they don't need for the main event. And you have a bunch of guys that I have never seen that Pat has seen in murder basements. The people I have heard of are like shitty Tremont trainees. And
I don't no, I'm going to push back on. I don't think these guys have trained.
Declan Grant has trained. He's not good.
Okay, most of them. If you told me that they just went straight to the yard, I'd be like, yes, that 100% tracks.
Yeah, I'm just speaking of like the names you might recognize are like guys on an H2O show that do not impress. And this match is literally just shit happening for 20 minutes on a tarp in the rain. And it might be the most brilliant match idea I've seen in a while.
I'm fucking dead. I'm on Cage Match. I was like, I don't know CC Boost. Fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. I was going to ask
very
you.
familiar with CC Boost. Cajun Crawdad.
The winner
That's
of the
fucking
match.
nuts. He's like, you
Cajun
said train,
Crawdad.
and I had his thing opened up, and I didn't even see the alter egos. I went right down the trainer. It says the Wrestle Factory, and I was like, shut the fuck up. Hell yeah, this guy's a 10-year vet.
Yeah, he's in death matches now. He looks like a real piece of shit. He looks like he belongs in the murder basement. And I don't know, outside of like Declan Grant and Anthrax, who I've seen before, and Brandon Watts, who's a CZW vet, and
Louis
could not-
Jr., the big fat boy wearing a cum T-shirt. That's low life Louis Ramos' son. So you might have seen Louis Ramos.
yes, yeah, I forgot Louis had a son that was wrestling. And I could not tell you the difference between Bootleg Dave or Dylan the Shark or Lil Skittle. But if you're going to get a bunch of backyard and or basement wrestlers on a big tarp and just have them do shit, like, this is what all deathmatch, like, non-tournament matches should be, instead of like a regular hardcore rumble or some shit. You just set up a tarp that's like a little to the side and just have them do whatever dumb shit they want to do until the ring is set up for the final. It's beautiful. Deej is back.
It also features Gabby Gilbert, who was with the late great Jimmy Rave when he died, and took all the GoFundMe money and refused to give the Jimmy Rave robe to Jimmy Rave's daughter. So she's really cool.
Well, that's
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you.
Well,
I don't wanna
I
get
like
sued.
this cage match review of the Tarp of Death. Imagine the WCW Junkyard Invitational, but with drunken meth addicts swinging tubes. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
If that doesn't,
Yeah,
if
it's
you don't want to watch
beautiful.
that, I don't understand you.
It's beautiful. The feeling is back. And then the final, which is Judge Joe Dredd versus Schlack, was not a match I was particularly anticipating just off matchup.
Yeah, I was thinking if I was Deej, I would have maybe put two of the good wrestlers in it.
But what is beautiful is, like, at this point in the show, the ring is like underwater, even though it's outside, because there's so much rain, and the blood is just mixing in with all of the water, and it's just such a fucking disgusting sight. And like, if Akira and Hoodfoot had a match with like this much like standing water on the ring, I think they would have had a good match. It's like they're just like slipping around in the water and the blood and like walking over light tubes and shit. Like, this is what it's all about. This is Tournament of Death. God, if it was like Drake versus Mickey or some shit in the final, or Eric Ryan.
Well, what I like about this too
Possibilities are endless.
is that they were actively talking about how they knew rain was coming, and then they still started the show late.
CZ Dub. CZ
Yeah.
Dub.
And then I believe the stream cut out before the big spot in the finish, right? Does anyone know that?
Yeah,
that's
the
awesome.
live
These are the rules.
the live viewers were treated to like a loading screen. It was Joe Dredd started to fall, and then it just cut to like a looped loading, like please stand by.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane that they tried to stream it live. It's insane that they didn't have more technical issues, given the circumstances. It's insane that CZW is back. God bless you, Deej.
And Jimmy Lloyd is going for their world title.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, they're following it up with Aaron Nash versus Jimmy Lloyd. You got to strike while the iron's hot. Looks like that is the only match announced. It's a no rope barbed wire death match. The only match announced for their next show.
And they're not on this show, but the tag titles? Indie luchadors.
Hell yeah.
He's just been watching IWRG.
They've only ever. Oh wait, no. Okay, I lied. They won them in America, but then they've only defended them in Europe, which is pretty cool. All right. Did you watch any other wrestling?
No.
All right. I'll go. It's gonna be hard to top that. I watched the aforementioned Takayama Mania tag match, with everyone should check out. I watched a couple matches from Boom Wrestling out of Vancouver, and I think the coolest part about Boom Wrestling is I've watched them on YouTube before, but I went to their website for the first time, and they have a match guide where they have every show they've ever run, and it lists every single match, even some of like the random like angles they run, and then it'll have a link to the full show, and then where applicable, a link to that specific match. And then you can search wrestlers to see who they've wrestled in Boom Wrestling. And I was like, holy shit, I'm not used to indie companies making it easy to watch. Now having said that, the matches I watched right away, as I started to watch the show, I started to watch there's a 6-way scramble with Shaolin Funk, Sharif Morrow, Rex Rothschild, Liza Hall, Rashad Tyson, and Amira. And this was Amira's back, she's good. This was not a great time. But the second match was Abraham Lincoln versus Evan Rivers, and I remembered that match has happened before. I gotta watch the first one before I watch the second one. So I go to their little fucking gimmick and I type it in and I watch the one from earlier this year. And both these matches are pretty fucking fun. I'm a fan of Evan Rivers. I don't know that I'm a big fan of Abraham Lincoln. I'm not sure how far you can get wrestling as Abraham Lincoln. It's got a little too much. You got a little cutesy stuff, and then they ape a lot of Evan Rivers apes a lot of Eddie Guerrero stuff. But it's like, if you're gonna steal from someone who's good. And that plays
top 500 wrestlers of all time.
There you go. And so there's like a bullshit finish in the first one with Eddie Guerrero, like, fake DQ shit, and then that leads almost to the finish of this next one. It was definitely worth watching, and I just like indies that make it easy to watch wrestling. Wrestling companies hate for people to watch their wrestling for some reason. I also I made Jade on the Discord watch this first. And it's Drake Younger versus Dale Patrick. And they were not happy with me. And it's so weird because I think it might be a good match. And even them describing the production, I was not ready. Someone like worked hard on this. During the match, anytime there's a spot that's been hit, a square pops up in the corner and it replays that spot. Why other stuff is still going on. And then sometimes it'll replay a spot from earlier in the match. So like you're trying to watch this match and there's just like a big spot that just happened, or maybe a big spot from earlier in the night. But some of them aren't big spots. Some of them are cool, but some of them are just like, oh, he slowly threw him into the wall of the building. Didn't even look that great. They're like, run it again. And like I said, I think it might be fun, but it's the most distracting production of a match I can remember in so long. They put some of the clips in slow motion. And like I said, this clearly took someone a lot of time, where it's like, man, if you would have just put up the fucking hard cam version of this show, I probably would have loved this match. So I don't know that I can specifically recommend it, but it's definitely interesting to see possibly the worst way to produce wrestling ever. And then before we recorded this, a guy that I have always been a fan of passed away. That's Jaka. So I watched a bunch of Jaka matches, and I started watching some of his Evolve stuff. I watched the Zack Sabre Jr. match, some of the stuff with Dickinson. And then I wanted to watch I gotta go back to his early days when he was Johnny and he was wrestling AIW. And I found him versus Biff Busick, which I don't know if I've ever seen before because I wasn't at that show. And I'm watching it. You know who's on commentary? I feel like we just mentioned him last week. Juicy Pat Lucy.
Ooh, God
I guess,
bless.
yeah, our boy donated the Shinron. He had a bad neck injury, so he donated enough to get commentate this dark match between Jaka and Biff Busick.
He would.
I'll let you know.
Pretty good.
There's a lot worse. There's a lot worse indie announcers out there. I don't know who that. I don't know. What that says one way or the other. But so then I started watching like some of his weirder stuff, like him versus Chris Dickinson, where Dickinson does the dive into the merch table, and the people in the merch table are clearly not in on it, and they get real fucking mad, and like a real fight almost breaks out. And Jaka was just always fun. I never thought he was one of the best wrestlers in the world, but I thought I've not seen a lot of bad Jaka matches, and everyone says just great things about him. Chris Dickinson, same thing. People love talking good stuff about him. So a lot of Team Pazuzu I watched. And I just encourage everyone to go back and watch his matches because he's a guy that I don't know if it was real life stuff, it was Dickinson getting canceled, if it was what it was, but he disappeared. And in today's indie scene, he definitely would stick out. I mean, he was on those Evolve shows that were just full of killers. So it's like, how are you going to stick out, against all them? But in today's scene, he probably would have been a top guy if he actually was, wrestling or
I'm shocked he
DPWs or bigger
wasn't like
places.
one of the 2019 AEW. Like when all the people that Tony Khan really wanted were still tied up in NXT, so he was hiring like Jack Evans and just crazy. But I'm honestly shocked Jaka wasn't an AEW original.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think he ever even got like a dark match or anything.
Well,
He
one
had
dark
one match.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay. I take that back then. But yeah, outside of that, I watched, thanks to our good friend Pat, which, I mean, I owe you a million thanks. I literally said as a joke, I said, I will never watch the 7 Violent Nature show because it's on Soul Streaming, which does not seem legit. It really worries me. And then I'm like, the only way I watch is if Pat gets it, and he immediately says he's buying it and streaming it in Discord. And luckily for me, I jumped in basically right when Necro Butcher and Hernandez were starting. And no surprise, this match fucking ruled. Hernandez, I don't know how often he's wrestling. He looks a little rusty, a little slow, but Necro Butcher fucking rules. They did a really stupid play on like the whole Raja Jackson stuff as the finish, which was, I think, would have worked if maybe you didn't listen to commentary at all. That was like the one thing that bugged me, is they were immediately kind of bearing their finish on their own show. But yeah, I don't know how you would ever go watch this outside of being in the Discord. Oh, go ahead.
One of the commentators was Kevin Gill, so we're already starting from behind. And the other commentator was, what's his fucking name? Vinny Stigma, who is the guitarist from Agnostic Front. He's just an old New York City punk rock guy. God knows what he was doing at this show, but they gave him a mic, and all of his commentary was just like, as like fucking Judge Joe Dredd or someone is like strangling somebody. He's like, I met Judge Joe Dredd. He's a really nice guy.
Now I wonder if did they play this show? Because I know that 7 has bands a lot.
No, he might have been. Agnostic Front didn't play. Maybe Vinny Stigma did something by himself because they were hyping his solo records on commentary before you joined in.
But yeah,
you didn't miss a lot.
It didn't look like I did because I that match ruled, and then the main event, Masada versus Phil Insane. Despite being 2025 Masada, or really any Masada, this was amazing too. This was awesome. I had forgotten about Phil Insane during the show, but I remember that he had that match from early in this year, also in for 7, that I really like. So I think I've only seen 2 Phil Insane matches, but I can't even remember. Was it against Hoodfoot? It might have been against Hoodfoot. So maybe I like 2025 Hoodfoot because I think it was just two big guys killing each other. He takes a bump from Masada, which it's a body slam, right, Pat?
So
I've watched it
what
a
they
thousand
did
times.
was they have a barbed wire board that's balanced on 4 chairs, and that's on the floor. And then they get up onto a stage, like a normal stage that a band would play on. And Masada wanted to body slam Phil Insane from the stage through this barbed wire board that's laid across chairs. The thing with this plan is that it's already a really dumb plan because if the board doesn't break, all that happens is that the force pushes the chairs out and he just slams into the barbed wire directly onto the floor. They managed to do something even worse, which is I don't know if Masada was too far back or if Phil held on, in the body slam position too long while Masada was trying to drop him. Something happened, and Phil Insane just fell spine first onto the edge of the stage. There were clips of it where you can hear someone in the venue screaming.
I posted it in the Discord at one point. I've watched it just maybe 1 million times, and it's sick. I've watched 2 7 matches and like all those TOD matches, this is the one that hurt me to watch the most. Phil's facing Necro, I think, in October. I can't wait for that match.
November. It's in LA, so I told Tim, like, you have no choice but to be our correspondent on the ground for this.
I don't know how much Phil Insane wrestles outside of 7. He doesn't have a cage match. I didn't look for too much Phil Insane this week, but I'm a fan.
He's
if
fine.
somehow they ever post this show, but that's what they do is they will stream it at hard to find places, and then sometimes randomly they'll be like, "Oh, here's a whole show from 3 months ago," and put it on YouTube. So if that happens, watch it. Yeah, I mean that is the last of what I watch. I mean, Pat, you can let him know if I can tell from the reaction of what I was reading on the Discord that Akira versus Tarzan Duran was not winning people over.
Let me tell you what Akira versus Tarzan Duran was. It was a 20-minute long Akira versus Tarzan Duran match.
That's no good.
Yeah, I mean that's everything you need to know. Hoodfoot continued his run of bad matches against Slice Boogie. We had Mickey Knuckles versus Rob Shit in, perfectly acceptable wrestling. There was a Tim Strange versus the One Man Crew in a Taipei death match.
Deathmatch Facebook like this.
It was a fine match. I mean, it just came and went. It was 6 minutes, and it was mostly Tim Strange punching Crew in the head over and over and over. Which admittedly was sick. It got kind of spoiled at the end by Crew getting on the mic and going for heat and just going offensive with it. Let's say he has some fairly unwoke things to say to the crowd in a way that did not come across like a guy doing a gimmick. It just came across like someone saying some nasty stuff that wasn't cool. And that's all you really missed before the big two. But Phil Insane, definitely someone to look out for, someone, under the radar who needs more attention because he looks like if Gary J did like 1980s WWF steroids. And he wrestles like one of those mid 2000s IWAMS guys who are dead now. Like he's a guy who in 2025 he does not put his hand up on chair shots.
Even deathmatch wrestling has been kind of permeated with a bunch of skinny little geeks, and that ain't Phil Insane. He's scary. Like I don't want to come up to Phil Insane in an alley. So I'm hoping to watch more Phil Insane. I'm hoping he keeps up wrestling like this.
I hope so too, because we might have seen his spinal cord sever in that match.
Yeah, if his style
Like-
changes after that, you can't really blame him.
Like, to put it in perspective, we've all seen the casket match where Shawn Michaels broke his back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This made, like, Shawn Michaels hits the casket at a weird angle, and you would be forgiven for not realizing, oh, that's when he broke his back. He just hit that thing wrong. This looks like, oh, this is someone who's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life after that bump.
If they would have stopped the match, I would have been like, yeah, makes sense.
And the awesome thing is that he gets up from that, and then after Masada wins, he beats the shit out of Masada.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He immediately starts just freaking out. And I fucked Phil Insane rules. Did
That's
you
all
watch
there is to it.
any other wrestling besides that and TOD?
You know, if people want to catch up on the wrestling I've been watching,
Oh, hell yeah.
they should check out a little panel called the Death Panel. It's a column that just went up today. Assuming that it went up today, Wednesday, September 10th. If you're listening to this at a different time, it went up another time. But it's got like
That's how time works, folks. You heard it here first.
It's got like 14 little mini match reviews of deathmatch stuff I've been watching. I will say match of the month for August, Masashi Takeda versus Slade from GCW Homecoming. That is a fucking unreal match. They just go full force. They both have so much glass sticking out of them by the end of it. It is 10 minutes of complete insanity. And another match that deserves more attention, which I can't believe I'm saying. Yeah, I can believe I'm saying it considering who one of the people in the match is, the other person in the match. But Necro Butcher versus Saxon Huxley for CXW, which I think is in England. That's on IWTV. Really good Necro Butcher match.
Dance Boy Saxon.
Yeah. It's, I mean, if you want 2025 Necro Butcher, you get 2025 Necro Butcher. At one point, the match is picking up when at one point Necro picks up a giant box fan that they're using to keep the venue cool and just recklessly hucks it at Saxon Huxley.
I gotta
It's
be honest,
great
I
shit.
run hot. That would really piss me off at the show.
Yeah, but watching it from the comfort of my home, I'm like, that's fucking badass. Oh, you know what I did see? Because that 7 show, when I bought it, it came with a VOD of the August 7 show.
So yeah, you got to
I
watch
did
an
wa-
extra Phil Insane match, I believe, right?
I watched Phil Insane versus Bobby Beverly. Talk about two fucking crazy people. Just, just doing stuff where I'm kind of like, at a certain point, I'm just like, man, these guys might want to chill a little bit. But at the same time, it's fucking awesome.
Bobby Beverly, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Bobby Beverly. Hopefully he can get us in good with Phil Insane.
That's what I was thinking. We might have to have him on just so we can talk to Phil Insane. Yeah, Pat has his death penalty came out today. Koro is doing his thing. Posted recommended matches number 59. Sam, when can we expect the second week of January for 1984?
Next Monday.
When can I also have written a road report? When can they expect to see that? Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
I know. See, my instinct is post at night when you're not looking.
Might as well.
I thought, let's come on here. Let's see when he wants it.
As long as it doesn't interfere with my shit, what do I care? You know?
Oh, that's even a better thing. Is like next Monday, 5 minutes after Sam's goes up.
Fuck. I'm just gonna have to delete everything that Dan's ever ran just to make sure.
The way I go through this when I'm plugging everything is I go into the
just change the credit on it.
Well, yeah, I'm going through the credit here.
Sam's
The post here
project.
I'm going through the post here. I pull up all the posts so I can make sure I'm announcing everything that's come out since we last recorded. And there's a draft of an article I never posted that Pork seems to have gone into and changed himself as the author.
Oh no, that was me. That was me.
Oh, that's very funny.
I was just doing a bulk for late night with the 2012 Royal Rumble. So you must have put something about the Royal Rumble in that thing, because I was like, okay, everyone that has this search term, let's just change that to Pork.
That's so funny. I'm like, man, he really should have posted it to really do the gag, because what are the chances I would see this? But I did. That makes more sense.
No one else has this ability, Dan.
Oh,
Pork's
okay.
not special. Pork can't. Do you think everyone on this website can just go and edit everyone else's stuff? Did you think that was how this worked?
Well, listen, if you
Yeah.
told me that you accidentally gave it to Pork, that would not surprise me.
Now, I will say, now that I've done that, I do think Pork could go in there and do this.
Now that he has his name on it.
Exactly.
Okay. So now he can post it if he wants to,
Now he can.
which is not timely because it's about you bringing back Desert
Which
Island comps.
honestly, would it be timely if someone helped schedule their Desert Island comp? That's on the show.
Should be free sometime next week, but when it's not my birthday.
Sometime next
Oh,
week, not his birthday, but he
wow.
also still has to record this. Also, other things that will come up that are more important.
Yeah.
Did I
We're
cover
moving
it?
next week's podcast, right?
Moving it
That's
to
what we're putting
where?
out. Not Wednesday.
Okay. What's going on Wednesday?
It's my birthday.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's your birthday. Okay,
He told
that's
us
fair.
this like a month ago.
He did. He did. He really did.
All right.
I
And
think
then
that's
my
everything
birthday
coming up
is
on
the
the
week
site,
after
which
that,
we're
so.
pretty excited.
And my
Oh,
birthday
shit,
is
birthday month.
sorry.
What day's your
Yeah, it's
birthday?
the 24th. And what I would like for my birthday is a Desert Island comps with Chris.
Oh,
Oh, now I have to get
Lot of pressure.
I have to kick
Lot
it
of
into high
pressure.
gear.
you're gonna be a piece of shit if you don't have it ready by the 24th. Is all I can say.
Yeah, I do not want that egg on my face.
Sometimes I feel real stupid. Yeah, I am scrolling through this. It'd be crazy if you gave every one of these degenerates this be able to delete everything on the site or just change anything they want. You're right. That is crazy. All right. So that's everything coming to violentpeople.co. Check it out. I'm also checking out the stats this week. People are really loving the death panel, and they're checking out Hackenschmidt footage, and they're watching some Ken Shamrock versus Don Fry.
You know what? That piece is the gift that keeps on giving.
It's got a lot of views. The Ken Shamrock versus Don Fry.
Every month, it's top 5 post.
I
Can't
don't
beat
know
it.
that. I don't. It's top. It's after if it's top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of all time, and that's including the home page and the podcast page and the VP 100 2023 master post. It's people love Pride. Oh, you think we're getting a bump because of the Smashing Machine?
No. Well,
Oh.
yes, but if you go to any month since it's been posted, it's there. Like, there's never a month that this has not been a popular thing on our website.
That's so funny.
People love it. People love it. We should just be reviewing more Pride matches.
Yeah, I'm saying they didn't
numbers
love the
would be
rest of the
better.
Ken Shamrock stuff, so it was just.
It was
So,
just that
Violent
one.
People, we're pivoting into MMA. Is that what we're doing?
They
Sport
say
I
now's
know
the best time.
a lot about.
Someone's got to take up the power slap coverage.
We actually are pretty like in a
Bro,
good place to
Power
review
Slap?
Power Slap because we know a lot of the people that these other MMA sites aren't going to know. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't know about Hollywood Haley J like we do.
You don't know Juicy Finale like I do.
You know her so well that you called her Hollywood and not Hollyhood.
Oh shit!
Embarrassing.
All right, Sam, edit that
Fucking-
out. Edit that out for real, or I'm off the show. It's crazy. She
Terrible
lives like
journalism.
2 hours from here, man. I can't let her hear that.
She's gonna fucking slap you,
Come
dude.
here.
Didn't she slap Fasad's old girlfriend? Is that a thing?
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I'm having some technical difficulties.
I
have
can't
my
remember if it was
mic
a slap thing. I
on a
think it
stand,
might have been
it's falling
I think it might have just been a sucker punch.
Yeah, that is what it was.
I apologize if the listeners can hear my cat screaming at me.
Oh, I
I'm now
didn't
just-
until you said that exact sentence.
I'm
That's
now
pretty
just
cool.
holding the mic arm in my lap because I can't fix it while we're recording. So that's cool.
I think
All
it's
right,
pretty sick.
yeah, it's a real cool setup we got over here. I think it's about time we get into the big top, which is when I hand the reins over to Pat.
All right. So, in honor of the Tournament of Death and just loving weird little stupid games, I've decided that the four of us are going to book together the first possibly annual Shodate Memorial Tournament of Violence. And many hands are on the blade for this one because each of us contributed two wrestlers to the 8-man field. Each of us has secret alternates that might get subbed in depending on how things go. Because what we're going to do here is we get the matchups. One of us will decide the winner. Also, maybe the finish if they want to, but also a unique stipulation that leads to that winner. And then we keep going from there. But for every match, I will be rolling a d20, and the d20 will determine something. It'll be a complication backstage, it'll be a problem with one of the wrestlers, it'll be a situation where an alternate needs to get swapped in. We'll see where it takes us. But the goal here is just to generally be demented and probably argue with each other over our choices of who's going to win. So I don't know if maybe we should go around and announce who we've entered into the tournament. Why don't we start with you, Dan? Who were your two guys?
I mean, my guys are no surprise. I went with Drake Younger and Necro Butcher.
Now, Sam, I think you also kind of went serious with your picks.
Here we got Slade and Demus.
And Chris, you went in the opposite direction, sort of.
Yes, I have Mascara Sagrada NG and the Hardcore Hillbilly.
And I went the most serious of all by nominating as my two Reed By God Bentley and the North Korean Assassin. So I have randomized who will be facing who. I have randomized who will be deciding which matches. It actually works out because the prize for being number one in the Fantasy Football League is that Dan gets to go first. And he has to give us a stipulation and a result for Mascara Sagrada NG versus the North Korean Assassin. But first we have to roll and see what is going on with that match. Okay. We rolled a 20, which means that Dave Meltzer has wandered into the front row and is watching intently.
Okay, now that does change it. No, am I deciding who wins or the stipulation? What did you say?
You're the stipulation for the match and who wins.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. My very first thought was I was thinking maybe like a barbed wire dog collar match or something. But now I'm thinking Dave Meltzer's there. I'd like to go a fans bring the weapon 30-minute Iron Man match to start off the deathmatch tournament.
People love starting a tournament show with a 30-minute Iron Man.
Meltzer likes some Iron Man match. They're gonna go long. They're gonna go
especially
they go
with
30.
the North
He's gonna
Korean
love that.
Assassin.
And he might really die from 30 minutes of wrestling. So that's kind of cool,
Dude, he fucking looks like he's gonna die after 30 seconds. No offense to North Korea, but yeah, your assassin, he's not in great shape.
You might want to have like a backup plan if he's your only assassin.
But yeah, who's coming out the winner of this?
Oh, sorry, yeah, it has to be. It can't be North Korean assassin. He's he can't work a second match after that. So
the
it's gonna
ref
be
just counts him out 15 times. It's like
and I want it to be like that stupid. Someone mentioned that the Sammy Callahan and Adam Cole match. Like I want Sagrada to win. I don't know, 12 falls of the 10.
Oh man. So the next match
Top that,
is a
guys.
match that people will actually want to see if it was real, which is Drake Younger versus Damus. And I got the baton, whatever it is, for this one. So let's roll and see what the problem is going to be for Drake Younger versus Damus. I rolled a 9, which is that Damus keeps unsubtly reminding me that today is his birthday, but he won't let me see his ID to prove it. So I don't know if that would necessarily affect my decision making, because I would probably, the stipulation for this that I have in mind is that it's a tanning bed death match. Just get a bunch of old tanning beds, ones that don't work anymore, use them as weapons, slam people onto them, off of them, break the glass, do whatever. But there can only be one king of the tanning bed, and it is Drake Younger. As much as I love Damus, I still, give him a lot of points for attacking Sam that one time. Drake is going to win the tanning bed death match and face Mascara Sagrada in the next round.
I don't like it, but I respect it.
Well, who would you have, like the most spray tanned man alive? Well, I don't know if it's a spray tan or if he's going into a tanning booth or something.
It's natural.
It's
natural.
It's natural. That's Drake's just that color.
The guy,
that's what Florida will do to you.
I'm pretty sure the guy works in the docks, so he's outside a lot. Tampa Bay Sun. Just saying.
You said that like you're a fan of the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, son.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, that's what he's saying. Every
that's
time
my
he gets
dude
first
right there.
down. Tampa Bay, son.
Tampa Bay,
I love
son.
it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so for the third match of the first round, Chris, you've got Reed Bentley and Slade. Here's the problem, though. Right before showtime, Reed Bentley has been canceled because Robert retweeted a video of Reed Bentley doing a Jamaican accent.
No.
How does this affect your booking?
Why can Kofi do it?
No!
Exactly. and that affects my booking, because he will address
Please.
the crowd before the match by doing a Jamaican accent.
You got to lean into it, brother.
Yeah, he's cutting in. That's his new gimmick. Is
More like weed
Cabana Man
Bentley.
Reed. Weed Bentley.
I like Weed Bentley a lot.
He has no idea what any, like, he just knows like patois from hearing like Drake.
That's so sad.
So he keeps like saying ting and bumclat, and it doesn't hit like Uto Ice when he shouts bombaclat. But I think we have to give this one to Reed Bentley.
But what's the match type? What's the stipulation?
Oh,
is it just a public apology death match, or?
Yeah, it's on a bunch of broken iPhones with the Notes app up. And
all the screens in the arena just show the Notes app.
And there's also keyboards. So it's broken iPhones and keyboards. And someone is typing with like the screens on the arena and just like typing all of the keys like you would when you're pretending to be excited in a tweet. And that's going on the whole time, and Reed Bentley wins.
All right. So we've got Reed Bentley advancing to the next round. Sam, you got the last one for round one. You have the Necro Butcher versus Hardcore Hillbilly. But before you decide, and you've got maybe the most appropriate complication roll for this. So before you decide what the stipulation is and who wins, Hardcore Hillbilly takes you aside backstage and informs you that he can absolutely eat 60 hot dogs in 30 minutes and that it would be easy for him.
Okay. I appreciate this. Can I all right. I have a lot of emotions here at this point in time. Tie Pie Deathmatch. Got to talk to Necro before the match starts and say, hey, you gotta shoot at him. He's talking shit about Trump. Like, it's bad news. Like,
Oh God.
he was saying rest in piss about Charlie Kirk. Like, really rile him up, get him going, and let him loose.
I don't know if you know, Hardcore Hillbilly and Necro Butcher have teamed before as Team MAGA Butcher.
Yeah,
I do not care.
they are both members of the Mega MAGA.
So like this is a
That's
turn
what
to what we're having.
What I'm saying is that Hardcore Hillbilly fake fan,
Yeah.
not real red. You know, he is a lefty in sheep's clothing. He is woke, as the kids would say. And Necro now knows that via verifiable evidence of me telling him he's woke. So that's frankly all he needs.
So he's believed crazier things with much less.
Yeah, and I've got an envelope with money in it. So that feels like more than enough to do the job. Necro by KO.
Now, I don't want to
Shoot
deviate
by
too
KO?
far.
By shoot KO.
I don't want to deviate too far from the main top, but it's crazy that CZW books everyone they book and Necro Butcher's in the crowd, and they don't even have him go to the tarp. They don't even. It's nuts.
You telling me that Necro is just there, just chilling?
He just was. He has a crown on, and he's got like a gaggle of fans that are buying him beer, supplying him with beer, and he's just living life. He's there
Honestly,
as
that's
a mark.
badass.
Brother.
That's fucking badass. Just going to the show, knowing it's like, I don't know, bad example because Michael Jordan is one of the worst owners in NBA history. But it's just like Michael Jordan showing up, maybe to just every single North Carolina game, I guess, for the rest of his life, and just being like, look at me. Look at me. Except, like, obviously, worse. Dingier. DJ Hydier. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Thanks for telling me that, Dan. May I'll watch the show.
I got you.
So
all right,
we
Pat, how
have
does
now
round 2 work?
We're in the semifinals. It works the same as before. To give each of us a match to do, I randomized. There are the 2 semifinals matches. There's a third place match where the losers of the semifinals will compete for third place, and then there will be the finals. And for the finals, we're going to roll 2 times for crazy complications backstage. Chris, you have the first semifinal match with Mascara Sagrada NG, who has already been through a 30-minute Iron Man match, and Drake Younger. And I rolled an 18 for this, which I hope you have your alternate ready, because Mascara Sagrada NG got into a fight with a fan at the gimmick table and was knocked out. Not by the fan, but by slipping on a banana peel like that kid in Rookie of the Year and cracking his head off the ground, and now he's en route to the hospital. Who's your alternate that you're going to sub in for Mascara Sagrada?
I mean, of course, it's got to be Madman Pondo.
Okay.
For the record, if I knew Sagrada was going to go out, I would have had him go to a 30-minute draw and then done 10 more minutes and then another draw. But that's you can't plan for all this.
Hindsight 2020, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You really got to
I just
get
want
your
the fans
money's
to see my
worth on
vision.
those.
And so we've got Drake Younger and Madman Pondo. In the official debut of a match stipulation we had talked about a few weeks ago. They are in the first ever I Shit match, where the loser is the one who has been forced to shit himself. And I mean, like I could see Drake Younger shitting himself, given this like in certain circumstances. But booking Pondo, he's got to be the one that shits and loses. So Drake is going to the finals.
Yeah, he's like the old
Okay.
guy who's like, put him over, put him over. He's like, let me shit.
Are
You
you
guys know
not
Pondo
worried
made
that
his comedy debut on Tuesday? Yesterday, I believe.
is there a video?
He
I
did an
need to
open
see
mic that he was advertising as if he was headlining a stand-up show.
That's awesome.
He had like graphics made and was posting about it constantly on Facebook. Like, I need everyone to come out. The cost is free because it's an open mic night.
Well, at least they didn't make him do one of those shows where like you have to sell 10 tickets to get 5 minutes.
No, originally he was saying it was a 2-item minimum, but it's free. And then he said, I talked to the manager for you guys. There's no item minimum. You can just come in and watch.
He is a worker.
Yeah.
You got to respect it. Even though in this imaginary tournament we're doing, he did just shit his pants.
You gotta respect the manager shit his pants.
You got it. Which I am now in the unenviable position of having to choose between Reed Bentley and the Necro Butcher in the next semifinal match. So let's see if the dice will help me decide that. I rolled another 20. Dave Meltzer is still there, so I'm going to roll again because we already did that one. What is a 3? Okay, so I have to. Necro Butcher got injured in the Taipei death match, and he cannot, in good conscience, compete. So I have to bring out my alternate, and my alternate is Phil Insane. So Phil Insane and Reed Bentley. I have to think of what kind of match would be good for them, and it's going to be because you need to. Reed Bentley seems like a person who's generally sane and normal, and Phil Insane seems like he's feeling insane. So I think to get the best out of both of these guys, what I need to do is bring out something from DDT, the blindfold bra death match. We are going to take Phil Insane, a man who Dan and I can vouch for being like one of the most unsafe looking workers ever. And we're going to blindfold him. And he and Reed Bentley will have to try to remove one another's bras because they will both be wearing bras for this because this is a humiliation ritual. Who's going to win in that? I think Reed Bentley will pull it off, but just by, the skin of his teeth. And poor Phil Insane will have to advance to the third place thing while Necro Butcher is dead or something.
That's fair.
But speaking of fair, Sam, you
Oof.
now have the third place match of two substitutes who were not in the first round at all.
Perfect.
You
This
have
sounds like a
Phil
deathmatch tournament.
You have Madman Pondo, who again has just shit his pants, and you have Phil Insane, who just had his bra torn off. And let's see what the dice tell us about this. That is a 4. Madman Pondo keeps coming up behind you backstage and rubbing your shoulders, and you're really not sure what the fuck is going on with that. But he does give kind of a good shoulder rub.
Okay.
Earlier.
All right. I'm gonna come out net neutral on that. We're gonna have for third place. Don't want to get too serious after Bondo shit in his pants. Phil bra situation going on. Let's just get like a nice and easy fans bring the dildos match. keep it nice and classy. Like, I think there's a great spot that like can rub that shit in his little butthole. It'll be great. Yeah, you'll love it. Congrats on Phil and Steen making third place in this tournament. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, there was a Phil Insane. I think it was against what's the guy's name? RJ Carnage. I just found a random Phil Insane match on YouTube when I plugged his name in there, and that was a sick match because RJ Carnage is like a Hunter Drake sized little guy. Phil Insane's just like throwing him around, like just picking him up and whipping him around like he's a toy. It doesn't compete to a fans bring the dildos match, but it was a pretty sick. You should check him out, Sam. I think you would enjoy him as a throwback to a bygone era where wrestlers actively tried to kill one another.
When wrestlers were men,
Yeah, when wrestlers had not yet had big adventures on their Bowflexes.
Yep.
It kind of changed the game for a lot of people.
Yeah, everyone wanted to be that person. Just without the medical supplements.
It's sad but true. Also sad, Dan Rice, you are deciding the finals. And
yeah.
we have somehow stumbled into an almost normal deathmatch finals of Drake Younger and Reed Bentley. But we're going to roll twice. We have did we already do 6? Okay, we did not do 6. We got 6, which is really good. And what's 11? Okay, so this is a good combination. So with the 6, Drake Younger has decided that this match is going to be the debut of his new gimmick, which is a sexy ice cream man. And with an 11, one of the wrestlers was attempting to steal copper wiring from the venue and fucked up the fuse box. While it's being fixed, the next match takes place in a totally unlit venue. So you've got two things going on. Drake Younger will be wrestling this match as a sexy ice cream man. And you also have a venue that is in complete darkness.
Okay. Now
I'm not going to say who was stealing the copper wiring, but I think
people can decide on their own. Now, I will say my very first thought when I realized I was getting the finals was I'd like to turn it into a U-Brawl death match after my own heart and Drew Cadero's brain, and have Cruel be the U-Haul driver. But the no lights thing kind of changes everything, and I think you have to do fire, and there has to be no fire extinguishers around. So I want it to be like flaming ropes, flaming tables match. And I'm not getting cute. Drake Younger is doing his sexy ice cream Drake's landing through a flaming table for the win. Afterwards, Triple H comes back and he's a referee again.
That's his prize. The prize
that's his
for
prize.
the tournament.
No one knew that's what the winner of the tournament
The winner of the Tournament of Violence gets to be a WWE referee. So that's why
everyone's dream.
We could have had the North Korean assassin being an NXT referee.
Yeah, but he couldn't hang.
No, he couldn't. So let's go back through this. The first annual Shodate Memorial Tournament of Violence. It kicked off with a 30-minute Fans Bring the Weapon Iron Man match where Mascara Sagrada NG beat the North Korean assassin. It segued into a tanning bed death match with Drake Younger defeating Damus. Reed Bentley and Slade. Chris, remind me, what was the stipulation for that?
That was a public apology death match.
A public apology death match where Reed Bentley, who had been retweeted by Robert doing a Jamaican accent, had to apologize for all that. Followed by Sam doing some, frankly, criminal stuff in arranging a Taipei death match where the Necro Butcher attempted to kill Hardcore Hillbilly.
Deserved it. Don't tell you.
Into the semifinals where we had Madman Pondo subbing for the injured Massacre Sagrada NG versus Drake Younger, and Madman Pondo came out the worst of an I shit match. Then we had Reed Bentley versus Phil Insane subbing for an injured Necro Butcher in a blindfold bra death match, DDT style. Because if there's one guy who screams DDT, it's Reed Bentley.
Reed Bentley can't even spell it.
You know, we should ask him. We should give him a shot. It's only fair. But Reed Bentley does succeed in the blindfold bra death match. So that leaves us with Madman Pondo versus Phil Insane in. I'm having a brain fart. Sam, what was the stipulation for
another
Pondo?
crime, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fans bring the dildos.
Fans bring the dildos. Yes, thank you.
That's not the crime. I love
one.
Sam the Booker calling dildo spots.
Whoa, what's up with that? What's wrong with that? I'm just trying to help advance the plot.
I just like it's fans bring the dildos, and you have to figure like some fan is gonna just spend a lot of money on like really expensive dildos, and then Pondo and Phil Insane aren't even going to use them, and that fan's going to be pissed off for the rest of their life. But Phil Insane
does have to rub the dookie with the dildo back into Pondo's butt. That's like a staple to me.
He's not paying them if they don't.
I do like how this is the first match he did was a crime. This one's a porno and not an appealing one.
Just a little scat film, you know.
We got Rob Black on this pod tonight.
Yeah, this is two deathmatch wrestlers, one cup. With Phil Insane taking third place in the tournament, and then we have Drake Younger and Reed Bentley. Drake Younger debuting his sexy ice cream man gimmick. A totally unlit venue thanks to Hardcore Hillbilly trying to steal all the copper wiring. And it is fire everywhere. It is Great White playing at the station death match. Drake Younger wins and becomes Drake Wirtz again, the NXT referee of our dreams. I think if all of this was to become a reality, the world would be healed.
We need it now more than ever.
Yeah, what we need is hope. And a tournament like this gives us hope that we can come up with some absolutely insane and stupid shit, and it's really fun. Who were the alternates who did not get named? Sam, Dan, we didn't get to your alternates. Let's cards on the table. Who would have been your subs?
Oh man, that's a good question. I hadn't actually thought of one. I was going to think of one on the spot.
Oof, that's tough. I had two. I actually had like five, but like I narrowed it down to like two.
That's a lot.
That were, I wasn't sure where I wanted to land this. Schlock, like that's gotta be that was I think number one. It's like why I'm there like at first, but when push comes to shove, you gotta bring some name value in. Second, it can't be someone I like. Has to be someone I detest. So got Hoodfoot. I was like, you're not good. I'm gonna make you lose, no matter who else is in there. But what else are you doing? You got nothing better than to just show up and maybe you'll get a booking.
So I will share some of the dice rolls that did not come up. One of them that I really liked was wrestler number one, because they're all written as wrestler number one or wrestler number two. Wrestler number one slips you an envelope. Inside is a single dollar bill and a post-it informing you that, quote, there's more where this came from. And then we have somehow this match and only this match is officially sponsored by Chili's. I think we could have done something
I
good
love
with
that.
that.
Would have been perfect for the iShut match.
Oh yeah, that would have been a triple tipper death match all the way.
Yeah. I found out the other day that Domino's got rid of their dips. And
Interesting.
it
If
hit
it's
me very
Domino's,
hard.
I can't go there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 10 on the die would have gotten us all the weapons and plunder and shit you'd set aside for this match. It's all gone missing. The only weapon available for the match is a 1999 Chevy Silverado 1500.
That's when you need J.J. Allen in there.
That's true. And there was also one where wrestler number one took a normal amount of kratom and as a direct result may only have 3 weeks to live. So there you have it, folks. Tournament of Violence. We might do it again when we need something to do for an episode.
I want to say 3 alternates real fast.
Go
Gangrel,
for it.
Kaplan, or Toby Klein, and we wouldn't be cowards like Tony Khan. Because Phil's saying that they're probably not going to air the Gypsy Joe Invitational.
Which is maybe one of those downvoted things in Discord history. At least in our Discord, for clarity.
This is crazy.
People are
I'm
not happy.
boycotting AEW. I didn't realize how big of a coward he was. This is crazy.
Stuff out there.
Just put it out there on YouTube. Just like dump it. Like there it is.
Tony's like,
Yeah.
I have standards, and this is below them.
Oh yeah, we've seen the standards, but all right, not gonna get into all that. Big Top's over. Time for some Q and TR. For the podcast
You
from
mean
Eamon.
Q&AR, right?
God damn it.
That sucks,
I mean,
Dan.
it would be awesome if
No,
we got,
to be fair, right below
if
the site, if I now put in Q and TR, but above the first questions, Porik's talking about Q and TR. Eamon says for the podcast. Everyone's saying for the podcast. They're like, don't fucking answer this in the Discord. This is for the podcast. What's your favorite moment in a shoot interview? Pat, I feel like you'd have a good one.
I should have thought about this more before we recorded. The one that's coming to mind instantly was a Tori Wilson shoot interview. And someone else came up and just kind of impromptu joined the interview. I think it was Dawn Marie. And somehow the topic of Tajiri came up. Not somehow. They were talking about Tori Wilson's career. And the two women just looked at one another and they were just like, he is such a fucking little pervert. And then they did not elaborate and the conversation just moved right on. But that has stuck in my head forever. As anytime I see Tajiri wrestling, I just think of like Tori Wilson being like, that guy's a little pervert.
I have 2. I really liked in Jim Cornette's guest booker where he like showed that he's a fraud and made like the whole thing like a weird work shoot. But people still listen to him for like another 12 years after that. And then 22 years ago or whatever, I really liked when Dana Damison took off her sweater and just did the shoot interview in a brawl talking about a bunch of New England indie sleaze stuff.
Actually, I just realized you were talking about Biff Busick earlier.
Yeah.
Best Friends with Biff Busick, where they do the segment where it's pop your top off and tweet the Rock. And Biff Busick's insane idea for what they will tweet the Rock is it's him, Trent, and Chuck, and they're doing what was the stable? It was like Fourth Gun or something like that.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, and he's doing the hand signal for that, and he's like, "You got to shrug and kind of look." And all they'll say is "want to," and then he just keeps repeating the phrase "want to" over and over again while trying to like adopt this weird shrugging Fourth Gun pose. It is like Always Sunny weird shit, but it is so good. It
The
makes
best
you
friends.
realize just how weird wrestling people are.
Well, the best friends with Teddy Hart, where they all kind of regret it so quickly, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because like they're so weird, and then Teddy Hart comes on there and like, oh no, you're criminal weird. Like that's different than what we are. Sam, Chris, either of you guys got shoot interview highlights?
I don't watch shoot interviews because I respect the business too much.
Hell yeah. I watch Mark interviews.
Yeah, I don't really either. No, the only thing that popped up, and this is not something I like, but the only thing I could remember from a shoot interview, the moment it was said, was Michael Elgin talking about pissing on that woman when he was talking to Kevin Steen.
What's your favorite moment?
That's probably my least
That's
favorite
not
moment,
my
honestly.
favorite.
Oh my
Honestly,
god.
I
My
was
question
just
was, what's your favorite moment?
And I answered by saying I can't remember.
Saying, I
anything
love
but
when this
moment.
happens.
All
So it goes number 1, Michael Elgin. Number 2, Raven, basically admitting to date raping people in WCW. Number 3, probably Conan calling people gay. Number 4, trying to think of who else admitted to horrible things. I don't know. Bill Alfonso probably did.
Michael Elgin was going live on Facebook a lot over the last week, and I popped in and out. He had some cool stuff. D'Lo Brown's a coward. Josh and Ethan are really good guys, but they're fucking bad friends and bad people. He didn't steal protein powder. Stop saying he stole protein powder. Simon Gotch and who else was it? Whoever else started it, if they ever see them in person, they're fucking done. And now I have a question for the rest of the chat. He talks about he wants to get in good enough shape to have one retirement match. People said maybe EC3 or Kurt Stallion. These seem like reasonable guesses. Who do you think he said?
John Cena.
Michael Elgin.
You're a little close, honestly.
Who was it, Chris?
I said
He
John
said Cena.
I am gonna say Kenny Omega.
Oh, that's way closer. It's Will Ospreay.
God bless.
And I'm like, yeah, that's doable, Mike. You got it. But yeah, those are the highlights of what I saw. I mean, there's tons of stuff. He's been online live like for the last week, probably hours. I've only popped in for like 10 minutes. Eamon has another
got
question.
A lot going on.
Also for the podcast. Which father and son wrestling duo had the biggest gap in talent?
Vince McMahon and Swoggle.
That's a heavy
Which
shot.
direction?
Swoggle? Oh, I guess yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, do you have a father-son duo?
Vern and his kid.
Okay, all right. Chris?
Actually, you know what my real answer probably is? L.A. Park and Io de L.A. Park.
You gotta pick the shittiest kid.
That's tough.
That's one that I was thinking of. Obviously, people in the chat already mentioned Rick and David Flair. Tim mentioned Ian and JC Rotten.
Oh, come on. JC wasn't that bad.
Another, like, it's not quite Rick and David level, but like Dave Finlay and the one son that's in NXT with some weird name.
I guess my answer would probably be Chris Benoit and Daniel. But if I had to give more answers, I would say I feel bad for all these guys.
No. We can't.
I feel bad for all these guys. All right. Porik, it doesn't say for the podcast. I'm going to jump in and just guess it is. Which outline of a wrestler would you draw on a birthday card where you then write dialogue between you and the person you're giving said card to?
What?
I don't get this.
Is this some kind of
It's about
weird
Trump
Irish
and Epstein.
custom?
No, it's about Trump and Epstein and the birthday note.
God.
Can you share the birthday note with me, Dan? I need my info.
Yeah, I can share. It's not a picture of Epstein though, so that's a little different. Not like a picture of who you're giving to. It's a picture of a lady.
Well, that's what I need to know. Like, is this a recognizable lady? Was
No,
this
it's just
a
like,
vague idea of a woman?
I think I'm being generous calling her a lady too.
Yeah, I would not say woman. That
Young lady.
implies
Yeah, a young lady. Okay.
Well,
Take a look.
Alright.
There it is.
You know, as the saying goes, there is a signature on the field, so play ball.
so.
Oh, God.
I would make an outline. I mean, it's Damus's birthday.
Well, that's just Trump's body. Right? That looks like Trump's body. So I do think that was him.
Okay.
I think of which wrestler has a recognizable silhouette.
Viscera.
I got nothing.
It's just like a big circle.
Viscera. No, he had arms and legs. It wasn't just a big circle.
No, you're right. Yeah, he was a human body. You're right.
Yeah.
I googled it real quick to confirm you're right.
Viscera, arms, legs. At Grok, did Viscera have legs? Actually, that's another great shoot interview thing. Is when oh God, I wish I could remember who said it, but they would talk about Viscera taking a Cialis and just like looking down at himself, like there it goes, just entertaining himself that way. I would draw a silhouette of Ryback.
He needs a birthday card, I think, too.
Yeah, and the dialogue is just you and Ryback saying "feed me more" at each other.
Okay. So this is coming from the guy who just made the Chris and Daniel comment. Am I reading Eamon's question out loud here?
How bad is it? I'll
It's
read
pretty
it
bad.
if you don't want to.
You know what? You're a government employee. It feels like you probably should answer that one.
Yeah, we'll just say, just any of the things we used in the tournament. We'll skip that one. The last question is from Porik. If you were to write a book for Violent People Publishing, what would it be about and what's the title? Because Sam has made it clear that we are starting a publishing company, and if we don't like your stuff, you can take it over to Hybrid Shoot.
Yeah, we're gonna take the good stuff. If I say you should reach out to Snowden about this, that means I do think it's butt cheeks. So do that we will.
Can't wait to have the next author of Hybrid Shoot on the show.
I might as well just take mine to Hybrid Shoot already. Mine is a book called Beulah versus Fonzie, the only good wrestling match. And the thesis of the book is that Beulah versus Fonzie is the only good wrestling match.
I feel
it would be about 20 pages.
It's good. I love a light read. So I feel like I really need to market to our existing fan base. So to make everyone who reads and listens to Violent People happy, I will be writing a 700-page book called Will Ospreay a Defense.
Forward by Michael
really a Violent People history. I think it's a very funny gimmick, but I want to be even lazier. I'm just going to call it Violent People, and I just printed out a bunch of this stuff and stapled it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You just printed out Discord logs.
Oh man, I was going to do the stuff on the site at least. Just Discord logs. That's good.
The oral history of 2CW, of course. You
can't even watch the shows. What are you talking about?
Can't watch the show. So I'll just be DMing people.
That's why people need the book. If they can't watch the shows,
I will let you know.
Enjoy it somehow.
I have confronted Bob and I said, Sam will come to your house. He lives pretty close to you.
I appreciate it.
And he's read it as of 2.5 hours ago. He did not respond. So I don't know.
You might not get a response on that one.
We'll see. We
might be friends on Facebook. Let's find out.
He still follows me on Twitter. He didn't delete me for that one. It's just I've never offered a man money so many times with just no response.
All right, let me just add him on Facebook. That'll help.
That's
It was
good.
fun.
I
you
said that
think-
you'll
do
come
you
to his
think
house.
he's-
Now you're adding him on Facebook. This is all good stuff.
Do you think he's going to Tony Khan like, I've already got one offer for this footage?
He's fucking leveraging our offer, and then we have to buy the Gypsy Joe Invitational and 2CW footage from TK, and we're not selling that many mugs, folks.
Let's see the last time someone bought a mug. That should do wonder for everyone's self-esteem on this call.
Oh god, we should do it live. Yep, I like that.
Probably not since like December, right?
I would
Last
guess
December?
I would guess January is my
Nope, last
hopeful
December.
guess. Damn it!
Yeah.
I don't know why,
So-
but I really wanted someone to be like, "Oh yeah, I should have got one of them." Hopping in January.
I'm
Yeah, we should just call that limited release.
I'm going to retcon my Reed Bentley versus Phil Insane match is now in history recorded as a fans bring the mugs match.
That's good. People are gonna want to. Those freaks will order all kinds of mugs. A big part of the Facebook deathmatch community is identifying good deals on light tubes, and then sometimes a certain person will buy the light tubes, but they can't make it to the show, so someone will drive hours out of their way to pick up the bundles of light tube the other guy bought to then take to the shows.
I'm gonna say this here. If anyone comes onto the Discord and shows us a marked picture of a wrestler holding a Violent People mug, I will reimburse you the cost of the mug.
Oh shit. And this man has money. He's recently streamed the show on Soul Streaming and bought AEW tickets.
I bought one AEW ticket.
One
And
AEW ticket.
Dan, as a joke, looked up the section I was sitting in and then chastised me for spending money on something I might enjoy.
I wasn't going to call you out. It's not a cheap ticket, folks.
No.
You can probably still sit right next to him. I can't imagine.
I'm going backstage. I'm going to meet Angelico and Tony Nese.
All the stars.
All the stars.
Honestly,
I didn't get the VIP.
You were pretty close in price to the VIP package if we're just going to be calling out all the shots.
I mean, no. Well, okay, cards on the table. I paid, what was it, like $360 with all the service fees and everything included, I think. And the VIP stuff was like $560. I wasn't doing that shit.
That's a bit much.
I will say I'm looking real quick here, and if you buy a mug, just buy a mug, and you live in the Boston area, I will tell you where Pat's sitting, and the seat next to him is still available. I'm looking at it right here.
Be the change.
You will have to buy your own seat, though.
I will not buy the seat, no.
No, I'm saying whoever buys the mug, if they want to cash in on this offer, they will have to buy their own seat to sit next to me.
Oh, yes. Of course, yes.
And I will not look at them the entire show. I will pretend to be someone else.
I gotta be honest, you might have got played on the seats, man. They went down in price here.
Did they? That sucks.
Yeah.
Dan, come on. Just stop talking about it.
Sorry.
Move along.
I clicked it. This is the end of the show. I don't know how to wrap it up. Thanks for listening. Buy tickets to AEW. Tony Khan's a good guy. Never a coward.